Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to do my LCK team rankings for 2025. This is an outlook for the entire year. It is not one for just spring split. Um, you know, based on what they are right now, how do I believe it may end up in September when it's all said and done? Um, you know, if you're new to the channel, I am doing predictions for each and every series and game. It's members only. I believe it's $10 a month or less. Um, so, if you're into that and want to know predictions and things, whether you partake in legal gambling or whatever, that's something you can do. As far as it's just money line picking teams, but regardless, yeah, let's do this. It's early in the morning, so we're gonna go backwards. First, we got Bro, Morgan, Hambach, Closer, Hype, Orbol, and Palu. So this team, whew, so you got two rookies in the jungle role and the support role. You've got essentially jungle, and then you could have a rookie in AD carry. The youngest player in the world in his role in Palu at support. Closer who's solid, and Morgan who's okay. So this roster I'm going to consider bad. And it's actually not really because of the players, it's the coaching staff. I am not a fan of Bro's coaching staff. I don't hide that. I say it every time I talk about the team. Edgar, in 2017, great coach, but he's still in 2017 and it's 2025. So, and maybe things will change and that team will actually be competitive and actually try and win games and be aggressive for once, but so far the last 3 seasons I have not seen that. So I'm not going to hold my breath. Nongshim. So Nongshim made some improvements this year. They've got, well, I wouldn't even say improvements. They got veterans. They added Kingen. They added Lahens to join Sylvie, Fisher, and Jiwoo. So in the mid lane role, I don't really know if Fisher's much better than Calmy or Calix or whoever the hell that they've been putting in mid. But this is the decision they've made. Now with Kingen and Lahens, you have players that are, Kingen in the middle to maybe you probably say he's the fourth best top laner at best in the LCK, and then Lahens, who you could say is at points the best support in the LCK. If not first, he's second. If not second, he's third. He's an excellent support. So with this in mind, I'm making this team below average. Well, by season's end, no, below average. I think this team, the way they improve will be if Lahens can help Jiwoo get better. Fisher and Sylvie need a lot of help, and I don't know where they're going to get that help from. I don't know if Lahens can offer that help or Kingen or whatever to teach them how to play, but how to play at a higher level. But that's kind of the mess they're in right now. T1, same roster, but Doran instead of Zeus. Um, I expect this team to be in the great category, be in contention to win the entire championship in the LCK and international events. Doran is a player that has not won an international event, right? Didn't win it with Gen.G. Gen.G make changes and they win it, right? So that is a thought. Not only that, the other four on T1 obviously are excellent players, and we'll see if trading Zeus for Doran is, the difference here. We're going to find out. Like, if HLE do win Worlds, I know I predicted them to win as my way too early Worlds predictions, which people took way too seriously once again. We'll know it was Zeus or Doran or vice versa. I don't know why I put the red down. KT is next on my list. So KT, we got Perfect, Cuz, BDD, Duckdom, and Way. So this team is it's got a strong mid jungle duo, an older one that's been around the block with Cuz and BDD, but Perfect and Way leave a lot to be desired. Duckdom as well. I would say this team is excuse me, average. The issue being is that that who was it? Hyper Bull, Hyper Way for KT. In challengers last season because both got promoted but separated, right? So who was it? Was it Hype or was it Way or was it both or neither? So we're gonna figure out if Way can get it together with Duck Dom. You know, Duck Dom's a middle tier, middle of the road 80 carry on that team. Perfect left a lot to be desired last season though, so he's gonna have to step it up and play in a bigger way. DNF, we've got Doodoo, Pioshik, Bulldog, Berserker, and Life. So you got 5 players there that are pretty established. We know who Doodoo is. He needs to perform a little better this year and finally come through on his resources that he receives. Pioshik, world champion. Bulldog, one of the better young mid laners in the world. Still one of the youngest if you watched my video yesterday. You got Berserker, who is returning to Korea after playing Cloud9. And then Life, who's returning to Korea after playing with FPX last season. So you've got namesakes there. I'm going to put them in the average category, but this team has the potential to be good based on just, namesake alone. They have that ability to get it done. They do. Like, if Bulldog makes the next step forward this season, that's all the difference, really. It's going to be that. If Bulldog can do that, Doodoo can do that, like those solo laners, this team goes to good. Like, and thing is, though, I'm kind of holding my breath because the last couple seasons we've been waiting for that. We're like, hey, Bulldog's going to take that next step. Doodoo's going to take that next step, and it just hasn't happened. Just hasn't happened. HLE, under great. This team, like I said, I predicted them to win, so if I didn't make them great, what am I going to say, in the end, it's a meta-dependent game, so whatever the patch is at Worlds 2025 is going to have a big role in who wins and who loses the championship. As we've seen the last few years, the best team in the world not necessarily wins Worlds. It's just the best team in the event. Who's the best team, patch-wise. So, HLE, great team. I'm being told Peanut's a choker, but I don't really care. So that's the thing. D plus, Siwoo, Lucid on top side. Siwoo, very, very high potential player. Lucid, very high potential player. Showmaker, Aiming, and Barrel. So Barrel returning to the Damwon organization. Gives them stability and shot calling that they've missed since he left. And maybe that is what brings Showmaker back. Many people saying, Showmaker's washed this, that, and the third, but maybe he's focusing on the macro of the game more than he was in the past, and it kind of screwed things up. That top side of the rift is tough. It is tough. So, I think there's a case to be made that D plus are in the average category, but out of those three teams, D plus has the most potential to get to good because hell, they have Aiming, who I consider to be the MVP of last season, Showmaker, world champion, and then 2 very high potential players on the top side. That if they can get it figured out, that team does go to good. And I don't care about winter, winter, whatever. It's like spring and summer when we're in standard is what's going to matter to me. So DRX, we've got Rich, Juhan or Sponge in the jungle role, UCal, Teddy, and Andal. So Rich, he got kicked out of the LCK for a reason. He's not, a world beater. UCal is a solid player. Teddy is as well. But in the end, this team I have below average. I think the jungle role is something that's going to leave, a sour taste in our mouth. I think the support role they could have done better with as well. So DRX I have below average. Not as much potential there as a team like D plus, really, or honestly DNF, because DNF and D plus have young players that we think can improve. Where honestly DRX are like, yeah, they have Sponge and Andal, and those are younger players, but they just don't give me as much of a vibe as others. So we're going to go out of order for a second. Fear X I'll do next. Fear X, Clear, Raptor, Vikla, Diable, and Kellen. So if Diable's the real deal, he comes in and he's very strong. Clear and Raptor play like they did in summer towards the end of the season. This team could be an average team. Vikla, if he plays like he did in 2022 in the LCK, this is an average team. But there's a couple ifs there, right? I've just named 3 ifs. So because of that, we're going to put them below average. Because really, there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of ifs. I mean, and the thing is, like, Kellen, I think, is 3rd or 4th best support in the LCK. I think that Diable is one of the... I mean, he is probably the best prospect in the world at his position. And it goes through them. It goes through them. If Vikla can be as impactful as he was with Rare Adam, now Rare Adam might not have won games, but he was very impactful efficiency-wise. They have a chance to be average. Gen.G, we're going to put him under good. Now, they have potential to be great, of course. Obviously, you have the best player in the world in 3 roles for sure, and then possibly Ruler returning to form at 80 carry, one of the 3 or 4 oldest 80 carries in the world. But then you have Duro, who's a complete rookie, and he's going to have to perform and come along, and we'll see if that happens. Potential to be great. So really, that 4 seed is the one, right? Which team's going to get out? In my predictions, I had D+ doing it, because theoretically I expect Siwoo Lucid to be able to, possibly get it done over a team like KT, which really doesn't have, Perfect and Way, like, I don't know. I don't think that's really it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.